Good morning, captains. It's me, TONIK TZW. I'm here in the legendary British destroyer, the Daring, and I call this one I'm so lonely. But I do feel like at times I'm doing all the work. I really don't think that players in this game understand the importance of destroyers in their abilities or the fact that they need to be protected if it's on their team and need to be destroyed if it's on the enemy team. But here we go, tier 8 legendary. We've got a full division of battleships, but those guys are going to be about as much use as tits on a fish. And as we can't guarantee that people playing legendary ships have any semblance of common sense in their heads, we're going to have to play it to the best of our abilities and not expect anything from anyone, because I think that is really the case with Legendary. And now that they're dropping tier 8 ships into campaigns, we really aren't going to be able to rely on even people playing tier 8 ships that they know what they're doing. So this game is all a little bit upside down, to play tier 6 or tier 7, the majority of tier 7 tech tree anyway, but certainly up to tier 6, unless you've got wallet warriors, people have had to play and learn the game and research those tech tree ships. However, with the amount of bureau projects and ships in store, which are all money grabbers for wargaming, there are so many tier 7, 8 and legendary premium ships out there that you literally cannot rely on your teammates, which is fabulously disappointing. I obviously know how to play my British destroyers. Yes, I potato at times, but I generally class myself as a good to bordering on very good player at times. But I do make mistakes still. Everybody makes mistakes. But here, this, I think it's a cabber, is making a terrible mistake because there's a smoke screen there. I'm running my sonar. I'm not going to push in too soon because I want him to sit exactly where he is in the smoke screen, spamming those shells out, because that is just telling me exactly where he is. And those torpedoes are going to find their target. Now he's on sonar, he's gone. There is another destroyer behind here. It is the only other destroyer on red team, and as such should be the absolute focus of every ship on this game at this moment in time. Now you'll notice that we're already one battleship down. That's one of the division of 3, and if you keep your eyes on the score chart, those other two are going to disappear at a rapid rate of knots as well. Now one of my torpedoes gets lucky on the other side of the map there, but I'm looking at this gear and he's taking a couple of shots, but nobody is focusing him. Now a gearing can outgun me. We can trade blows, but why should I have to trade all of my hit points on that destroyer when there are still 7 other ships in the game? There is an Alaska behind us. He is round about the 4 o'clock position of the cap. There is a destroyer out there too, and literally those 2 ships are going to spend that entire time, the Alaska parked against a rock and the destroyer going backwards and forwards, up and down, I think just attempting to torpedo something. Now obviously I'm located because I'm the closest to the gearing. The Alaska does get shots on, but it appears that he's firing AP, and I want to go out and I want to gun this thing, but I also want to survive because I know how crucial I am as a destroyer in controlling these capture points. I see that red team have got a couple of battleships out there on the flank, and I imagine that that is what our other destroyer is hunting. But you'll see now we've got 3 ships there at that 4 o'clock position on the minimap. That is 1/3 of our team. The other 3 ships are way out on the 9 o'clock of the minimap. And there's a very thirsty Minotaur out there who, although he seems to be doing a reasonable amount of damage, is very thirsty for these low health kills. And I am doing what I can to control these capture points, because if you look, we are down on points. Even though I'm here in the middle of this cap, we are down on points because that destroyer was not taken care of. He has now backed off because I think he feels a little bit threatened. But red team know that they have the advantage. The fact that the cap is turning blue means that they know where I am. Ideally, I would like to turn this cap and get the hell out of dodge so that I'm not having to sit in this very small area waiting for red team to run me down and come after me. Now I see that there's a GK there, I see there's another battleship pushing in, and there we go. There is the sonar. I'm on sonar. Guess who's going to take his opportunity to snipe some shots at me while I'm on sonar? That's right, it's the Gearin. He's sat in a smoke screen. There we go. I now can do nothing but run. I need to get out of here. He's going to keep blind firing me for a little while, but we're going to make our escape. And at this point, I decide, looking back at where the ships are on the map, that if none of these ships are going to support me, that why the hell should I play the game for them? Way out there is the other destroyer. He's, like I said, he's obviously trying to put torps on some of these big ships. But I do realise in a little while that there is a Des Moines out there, a radar cruiser, who again should be a priority target for every ship on this map. Our Alaska is full health. Sat there, he's popping shots across. Yes, he's providing a bit of a block on that flank, but where everybody is behind rocks and nobody can get a clear shot, there is absolutely no point to the game. I see that Musashi pushing through. I know that the gearing is still out there, and I've seen a set of torps come through, but I'm not going to hang around. I'm not hanging around in that cap. Other people can farm it if they want to. But there's the Des Moines. DD is spamming torps. The Alaska is parked behind his rock, and I'm asking him for help, but none shall come, shall we say, until such time as he feels entirely safe. As I said, that Minotaur is out there on that flank. He's relying on everybody else spotting for him so that he can rack up his damage score. And yes, he does need to be hidden, because he certainly wouldn't take a punch from many of these battleships in this game. But we take the Musashi for kill number 2. We're now scouting around, looking. We want to now try and defend this cap. We are still down on points, even though we are equal on ships, because nobody is prepared to push and go against Reds and try and get them off these middle and outer rings so that we can tick up some more points. There is a GK out there, and although it looks like he is staring down the Alaska, I decide to take a shot at him because his guns are looking at the other way, and you'll see that I do get spotted, and lo and behold, there's the Minotaur from the red team. Now that should be a one shot for the Alaska if he had a line of sight on it and wasn't parked behind an island. Now thankfully the Minotaur that's been up there on the flank providing what was a quite useful crossfire. He has decided that he is going to push in because there are no more targets for him out there. The rest of red team do appear to be out there around their 2-3 o'clock position of the minimap. We get the Minotaur spotted. That GK now appears to be AFK. So we pop a shot from this position because we want to see if we are detected again. We're not, which means that the destroyer is somewhere else. Now that gearing, he could come and hunt me down and probably try and outgun me, because all he has to do is get me spotted. Because when I was spotted, his entire team was shooting at me, yet when he was spotted, not a sausage. There we go. I'm spotted again, firing there. It is the Minotaur. I've got a smoke available, and I'm going to try and get what shots I can. But look at that. He comes sailing out around that corner, does a full 180, and turns around to go back inside it. Are you telling me that nobody could have slapped him off the map with a single turret? Because that thing is a Citadel pinata. I'm wondering where the Alaska is, and looking at the map, I realise he just does not have a position to be able to fire. I'm running my sonar because I know that the Minotaur has torpedoes, and I'm kind of expecting them to come sailing round that corner again. So I put my torpedoes out. I'm looking at that GK and thinking, yep, I know you've got sonar, mate, and at the moment I don't want to be anywhere near. There's Mr. Alaska. He appears to have taken a few chips to his hit point pool, but he's still parked on the corner of his island, where he has literally been for the majority of this game. In fact, I think the only time he wasn't parked on that corner was the time that it took him to sail there. So I am going to pop some shots at this Minotaur, and I'm going to get some cap resets, because all those caps resets, they're worth base XP to me. And if I can get a fire on that guy before he disappears, then he might just burn down. But there we go. Shots are on, shots are on. Smoke screen is covering me. So now I'm waiting for torpedoes to reload so that I can potentially get some shots on this Marlborough. I'm going to turn back in, because if you look, there is absolutely nobody contesting this cap. I have no idea where my destroyer has got to. In fact, he's there on the 3 o'clock position of the minimap. He's obviously trying to torpedo broadside in against the GK and the Marlborough. My twist and track is telling me slightly left of there, so I'm expecting that's where the gearing is. I feel safe because I've still got my sonar running, so I should get some early warning like that of those torpedoes coming in. Now, I don't understand why there's a big gap in the spread like that. Shimakaze picks himself up a Witherer, so I think even that Shimakaze has been reliant on everybody else doing the spotting for him so that he can stay hidden and rack up his damage score. And I'm like, WTF, buddy? You know, he's out there racking up a damage score while I feel like I am very much the piggy in the middle here, doing all the work for the team and letting everybody else take the cheap shots and rack up their damage. But I want to use this last smoke to try and pop a fire onto that Marlborough. Looking at him, I'm thinking, no, he's probably gone out of range of those torpedoes, and I really do think that the gearing is between me and him, or he and I, to use the correct English. So I'm not going to sit in this smoke. I'm going to get out. But look, here comes Mr. Alaska. End game, and he has finally come out from behind his island to pull a cheap shot on that Marlborough. And I was actually hoping that that Marlborough would slap his ass off that map for being such a twonk. But he misses. So we're in on the cap. The Marlborough's gone. The gearing's last man standing. There he goes. Minotaur picks him up. And like I said, I really feel that I was the one out there hanging my ass in the wind and controlling the game for blue team with that centre cap, while everybody else just sat back and played their 8 individual games going after whatever it was they were going after. But we finish on 113,000 damage with 2 kills, and there you go, 3,000 plus base XP, which to me is a good game. The Shimakaze is about 400 points behind us. The Minotaur, who had 4 kills, is over, well, let's say 700 points behind us, and that division of battleships, I'm sorry, mate, but you need to go back to school and learn how to play, because you are all out in the last 5 minutes. Rant over. Please, guys, support your destroyers, and your destroyers will support you. Click on one of these. Watch something that's a little bit more cheerful. Until next time, take care and goodbye.